Hello, welcome to your practice. Thank you for showing up to practice with me today. Hello, my name is Kelly, and this is my friend Maxwell. Thank you for joining us for a little bit of practice. We'll see how long you last, all right? All right, so let me tell you about today's program. So I love doing yoga after the previous day, having done some strength training, because it just helps my body recover, and I'm ready for the next workout. So that's why my format in my program is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, doing strength conditioning with a little bit of cardio, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays doing yoga. And yoga is usually with conditioning as well. So today's class, there's some conditioning specifically for your core. The main pose that we'll be working on is the eagle pose. I'll show you a couple of modifications for that, but we'll do several poses with eagle arms. And then finally we'll finish with bridge pose, and we'll work on crow pose before that. So a couple of really good hints for you, or good cues, so that you can feel more confident in the pose or coming up. And we're just practicing. So let's start right away. Thank you for joining me again. Are you already ready to go out? All right, here we go. Bye, Maxwell. Thank you for joining me. All right, so the first thing is to sit on your mat, get comfortable, seated position, and reach your arms up and stretch overhead. Right there. And then I want you to turn to the right. And you put your hand on the outside of your leg and turn and look over your shoulder, but relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. So let's start engaging in our breathing. Exhale, turn the opposite direction. So setting the tone for class. Inhale, reach. Becoming more present. Exhale, this time let's lean. So you'll put your hand down on the ground and reach your arm over the ear, and you can turn your gaze, your chin towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach both arms up, place the opposite hand on the floor, and then lean over to the other side. So your chin turning towards the ceiling, your gaze up. You can spread your fingers. Inhale and reach both arms up. And let's twist again by placing your hand on the outside of your leg and turn. Feels more comfortable this time. Fingertips behind the hip. Inhale and reach up. I like to warm up the spine really well before we get started in a seated position. Inhale and reach. Now let's lean over to the side. This class is going to be about 30 minutes. I'll have us on time. Inhale and reach your arms up, both stretch high, and then hand on the floor and reach up and over. Turn your chin towards the ceiling and your gaze. Inhale and reach up. And then let's turn so you can lie down on your mat all the way. Lower to the ground. And the first thing we're going to do is bring your knees into your chest for a moment and rock from side to side. By the way, if you have a block, grab a block. If you have a small pillow, grab a small pillow. So bring your knees to 90 degrees. Place your hands behind your head like this and reach your legs up straight. You can set your head on the floor for a moment. Now, I want you to point your toes, and then rather than like bicycle where we have our knees bent, I want you to have your legs straight and then reach one knee to one elbow, and then the opposite right there. Touch, touch. Do it 2 more times. 1 more time. And then bring your knees into your chest again. Rock from side to side. Now let's do that again. Reach your legs up straight, hands behind your head, and touch so there's a slight bend in the knees, but not 90 degrees. Reach the elbow to the opposite knee. Reach. If your legs are longer, it's going to be harder. If your legs are shorter, it'll be an easier move for you. touch. And if you can, reach your leg up closer to the ground as you touch the opposite elbow. And then hug the legs in right there. Breathe. Rock from side to side a few times. And then again, extend the legs up straight. Slight bend in the knees, hands behind the head, elbow touches your knee, and then switch. Reaching your legs. And if you reach closer towards the floor, get a little more core engagement. Press your lower back down. Elbows go out. Stay with me. Breathe. Do one more. And then bring your knees into your chest. Nicely done. Rock from side to side. This time, place your feet on the floor and tip your knees side to side. It's a little twist in the spine, the lumbar spine right there. Let's do that again. One more round. Legs up, hands behind the head, and touch. Go ahead and start reaching your leg closer to the floor. Right there. Touch. Reach. So you'll exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So no perfect way to breathe. Just breathe. Just make sure you're breathing deeply. One more. Nicely done. Bring your knees into your chest. Now I want you to grab a block or a pillow. Lower down all the way on your back. And place the block between your knees. So the block this way on the smallest width, hands behind the head. And I want you to squeeze the block with your inner thighs, lift up the upper body and lower down. Now tap your toes, lift up, lift the upper body, and then lower, tap your toes. Lift up, squeeze the block the whole time. Your lower back is pressing into the ground. Lift up, lower, and tap. Now lift the legs up straight. Make sure the block is up high enough that it's not uncomfortable between the inner thigh muscles. Bend your knees, hands behind the head, and go ahead and crunch 4 times on the upper body. 3, 2, 1. Now place your hands on the floor and tap the toes and lift up. And I'm really bracing. Do that 4 times. Bracing with my hands. Touch and lift. Squeeze the block. Do it one more time. Right there. And now extend the legs up. And with the hands there, just lean the legs over to one side and center. And then the other side. My feet are flexed. And then center. Bend your knees again. Hands behind the head. Look up at your knees. Slightly gaze up towards the ceiling. Crunches. Do 4 more. 4 of those. 3, 2, then 1. Place your hands on the floor and lower body crunch by touching the toes, and then bring the knees in closer towards the chest, maybe lifting the lower back off the floor. 2 more times. 1 more time. And you did it. Extend the legs up straight. So flex your feet, lean the legs over to one side, put your palms on the floor, and then center. Just a slight lean. My hip is coming up slightly as I lean the legs, and I'm feeling my core engage right there. And then center. Bend your knees. Now do the upper body or the lower body, or put the two together. Touch. So finishing up a little stronger, a little harder work. Touch. Squeeze the block. 1 more. And then pause. Move the block, or place the block on the floor. Cross your legs, roll up. Come onto your hands and your knees, and then all the way down to your belly. So still a little more core training, a little more core conditioning. Reach your arms, put your forehead down, and you can put the tops of your feet down. Reach the right arm and the left leg and lower down. Do that again. Lift up the right arm, left leg. Again. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Do it again. Feel the back body engage, the glutes. This is also warming up the spine. One more time. Now place your forearms on the ground. And like this, spread your fingers. Press into the top of your feet back there. And the fingertips, abs contracted, look forward. Drop the shoulders down. Then walk your arms forward again. And changing sides. So left arm, right leg, and down. And when I lift up, I'm lifting my chest just slightly off the ground, and I'm using my core strength to lift the thigh, clearing the floor, lift the arm all the way up. And I'm looking down at the mat. And be sure you're looking down so you're not craning the neck. Lift up, one more. Nicely done. Sphinx pose again. Press the forearms down into the floor. Continuing with a little more core work. Tuck your toes. And this time, I want you to lift up into Forearm Plank. So lift the hips. Breathe right here. Spread your fingers. Do a shift forward and back. And I want you to contract your thighs right there. And press into the hands and the forearms. Abs contracted. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to go into child's pose from here, so set your knees down. Walk your hands in. Bring your hips back to your glutes, or glutes to your heels. Tap your forehead down. And let's do it again. On your forearms, right here. Lift your right leg and your left leg. Abs contracted, squeeze the thighs. Bring your heels close together this time. Now press your heels into each other as you hold this forearm plank. So you're pressing the heels into each other or the side of your ankles. Feel the engagement of your core a little bit stronger there with that engagement. Press the hands down, fingertips down, squeeze the thighs. Breathe. Now set your knees down. Child's pose. Nicely done. Now we're going to come into downward facing dog. So walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog. Lift up your right leg, stretch it out. Step your right foot forward. Set your left knee down. Look forward, keep your fingertips on the floor right here. Move your foot over, and then lift your left knee, reach the right arm up, stretch. Rotate that right arm underneath, so stretching the shoulder and the trunk. Warming up the spine. One more. Now move your foot in, place your hand on the outside, downward facing dog. Lift up your left leg. Step forward, left foot, beside your left thumb, set your knee down. Set up by placing your fingers on the floor. Now lift your knee, reach the right arm up, and then rotate under. And now my fingertips are spread and my hand is flat on the floor. So you want to move the left foot over just slightly and rotate, reach up and rotate. Do it one more time. Place your hand on the outside of your foot. And then lift up that right leg, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Let's do that again. One more time. Right leg up. Warming up your legs, your trunk. Step your right foot forward. Keep the knee up this time. Reach up and right arm up. Rotate under. You can move your foot over. Reach up. Rotate under. Reach up. So listen, we're just going to take it to the long edge of the mat. So turn your body, long edge of the mat, one time. Bring it to the front, just warming up the inner thighs, and turn, hamstring stretch. Flex your foot. Put your foot flat, hands on the floor, downward facing dog. Try not to slide your foot. Inhale, left leg up. Step your left foot forward, keep your knee up this time. Move your foot over, reach up, rotate under. Reach up, rotate under. One more time. And now, go ahead and start to turn long edge of the mat. So going to the right foot, just bring it to the front one time and turn, knee down, hamstring stretch right there. And breathe, flex your foot. Nicely done. Hands on the floor, downward facing dog. And I want you to reach your left heel towards the floor and then reach your right heel to the floor. Cycling your heels, right and left. Warming up the toe joints. Press your heel down, reach. Press. Press the toes down. Try to bend the ball of your feet, or keep the ball of the feet pressed into the floor. Now walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, stand tall. Starting our first mini flow series. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We've done this before in a couple of the previous videos. Continuing along that to practice, to become more efficient with our movement. The first one is an eagle or a tree flow. Come into chair pose first, right here, and then stand up tall all the way. And you can do a little back bend right there. Look up at your hands, and then center. Press into your right foot and lean over to the left. And then reach up, press into your left foot, lean over to the right. Inhale and reach up. Tree pose. Right knee up, knee to the side, foot to the inner thigh, and hold. So practice your balance, concentration. That's why balancing is so good for you, for your mind. Nothing else to think about, nothing to focus on, but concentrating on yourself. Inhale and reach your arms up. Arms out to the sides, knee forward, and set your foot down. Let's do it again on the other side. So chair pose first. Reach your arms forward, sink your hips down, and then start to lift up that left leg. Grab your knee, and then reach that knee to the side. Feel the right side engage. Put your foot on the inner thigh or the calf. Stand up tall. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arms out to the sides. Nicely done. Knee up in the front and set your foot down. Now turn center, facing you. Mountain pose. Chair. Press your feet down. Pick your toes up and press your toes down. Now stand and lift up the right leg, knee up. Place the foot on the inner thigh. Inhale, reach your arms up. Get wobbly or squirrely. Get your balance. Bring the arms to the sides. Sometimes it just goes that way, right? Arms are out. It's okay. And then lift up your knee forward. This time extend the leg forward. Reach, arms to the side, lower down. Mountain pose. Inhale, chair, take a breath in, and breathe out. Inhale, lift your knee, right there. Bring the knee to the side. Place your foot on the inside of your calf or the inner thigh. Hands to your heart, shoulders back. Stand tall, stand strong, confident. Inhale, reach your arms up. Retraining your brain to focus. Reach out to the sides. Go ahead and come all the way down. But then when you extend the leg forward, reach the arms up to the sides, lift up that leg as high as you can, and then lower down all the way. Let's do it again. One more time. One more cycle through. Chair pose. Take a breath in. This time, do a calf pump by lifting up onto the balls of your feet. Let's do that 8 times. 7, 6, 5, 4. Press the balls of your feet into the ground. 3, 2, and then hold steady at the bottom. Stand up and lift up your right foot to the calf, to the inner thigh, tree pose. Shoulders back, reach up. Nicely done. Smile, reach out to the sides, knee forward, extend the leg forward, straight, and then lower down. Nicely done. Chair pose, reach, lift the heels. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and hold. Lift up your left knee, knee to the side, foot to the inner thigh, hands to your heart, shoulders back. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, reach up. Arms out to the sides. Bring your knee forward, extend the leg straight, and then lower down. Nicely done. All right, moving on. Mini flow number 2, eagle pose flow. So eagle pose, the peak pose of this class, I'll show you, you can use a block. So I'll have it on this side. So if I come into chair pose and I lift up my other leg and I bring that leg over the top, then I can set my foot down on this platform. I can still squeeze those legs in and get that same stretch in my hips. Just easier because you're not having to be so balanced on one foot. But then you can just try to pick that foot up and then bring your right arm underneath your left arm and put your palms together. If you can't do that, then do this. Grab your shoulders. Circle the arms around, then lift the arms, reach the arms up so your elbows are in line with your shoulders, forearms away from your face. Maybe you can grab the toes behind the calf, right there. Inhale. So your standing leg knee needs to point forward, straight forward. Breathe in. And now we're going to open up the arms to the sides. Lift up your knee for balance. Arms are out. Reach the leg back behind you. Coming into airplane. Try to extend the leg straight. Look down at the ground. Now set your foot on the floor. Inhale and reach your arms up. Palms together. Point your pointer fingers. Slice across to the corner of your room. Relax your shoulders though. Nicely done. Inhale and reach up. And then arms out to the sides. Coming back to airplane, so shift your body forward, a little more strength in that forward leg. Lift the right leg up. Try to get your legs straighter, abs in. And then lift up. Bring your arms forward, knee forward, and set your foot down. Let's change sides. So you can practice with the block. So you want to bend your knees, bend your hips, right there. So just a little bend. Then you'll pick that leg up and bring it over. And then set your foot on the block. Safety, right? Bring your left arm underneath your right. So press the upper elbow into the lower. And then pick your toes up, squeeze the legs. Maybe you can wrap the toes around. Make sure that standing leg knee, the right knee, points forward. Reach up, abs in. Relax the shoulders. You've got that block there if you start to lose your balance. Inhale and exhale. Now open up the arms and lift your knee up. Lean your chest forward, and as you do that, bring the leg back. Straight leg, straight arms. Working hard, concentration, set your foot on the floor. Go ahead and reach the arms up, palms together, and now point your arms towards the corner of the room on the right side. Abs in, relax the shoulders. Inhale and reach up. Warrior 3 again, arms out, practice. Lean in, press into the foot, lift the leg, lean over. Relax the shoulders, leg up, flex your foot. Breathe. Bring the knee in, lift your chest, and then stand. Inhale and reach up. Let's do it again. Keep the block, put it on the left side, or take the safety away. So, safety away for me. Inhale, squat. Right leg over, touch down. Squeeze by lifting the toes up off the ground. Bring your right arm underneath your left. Palms together. That left knee points forward as you reach your arms. Elbows come up to align with the shoulders. Forearms away, and maybe you can wrap the toes behind. Abs in. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Unwind your arms. Reach the arms out to the sides. Lift up your knee. Airplane. Bring it back. All the way behind. Lean in, set your foot on the floor. Carefully reach up. Took me a long time to get to the point where I could steadily reach my leg back without having to really kind of fall into it. So I totally get it. It's a practice, guys. Working on balance and strength and stability. Lean forward. Unwavering concentration, lift up your right leg. Warrior 3 or airplane. Breathe in, bring that foot in as you lift your head up. Let's do it again on the other side. Lift up, so squat first. Lift up your left leg, up and over. Squeeze in. Move the block over if you need to. I'll wait for you. Bring your left arm underneath your right and hold. Maybe you can grab the toes behind the calf. Relax the shoulders, reach the fingers, move the forearms away from the face. Relax into the pose. Unwavering concentration. The beauty of doing eagle pose, reach out, create. Now bring the leg behind. Airplane. Eagle pose practice for strength, mobility, endurance, and concentration. Set your foot on the floor. Inhale and reach up. Reach across, the best part of this mini flow. Reach up. And now here's the hard part. Arms to the side, lean in, lift the foot, straighten that right leg as much as you can, even if you're feeling that fatigue set in. Lean in. Bring your knee up in the front, set it down, nicely done. Let's do it again, one on each side. Inhale, sink down into a squat, bring the right leg up and over. We'll go right through it, you guys. If you need to catch up, it's okay. Lift your toes, bring the right arm out underneath the left, grab the toes behind the calf, out, abs in, reach the arms, forearms away from your face. Then lift up the knee, go ahead and reach the arms. Bring the leg back, tip your chest forward, balance, press into your toes. Straighten that leg as much as you can. Set your foot on the floor and go ahead and reach the arms up. Cross the body. Bam. Inhale, reach. Airplane. Hinge forward. Get parallel. If you can, just try at least. Inhale, lift your knee as you lift the chest. Set your foot down. Other side, you ready? Squat, leg over, feeling the body. Left arm underneath your right. And circle it around, reach the arms. Then lift the toes up. Toes go behind. Elbows in alignment with the shoulders, you can see it. Right there in your peripheral vision. Unwind the arms, lift the knee up center, Warrior 3. Abs in right there, guys. Set your foot down. That was a little more wobbly. It's okay. Reach up, palms together. Sweep. Point. Reach up. Exhale. Bring your hands down to the ground and come into downward facing dog. Mini flow 3. Pedal your heels. Step to the center of the mat. This is for crow pose. So bring your knees to the mat, actually. I was going to come into Malasana, but don't do that. That was just inadvertent. Spread your fingers, your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and do cat. So in cat, that's the contraction or this stretch in the back that you feel when you come up into Bakasana or crow pose. So go ahead and do a cow pose just to do it, but then feel cat again. Press the floor away, spread the mat with your hands, and then lower. So energetically press your palms down, spread the mat apart with your hands. Nicely done. Now come up onto your feet, and then hands behind your hips like that, and sit down. So the second preparatory pose for Bakasana, which is really a way to teach you what you're supposed to be feeling when you come up. So it's practice. It's also strengthening the core to help you elevate and fly. So lean back. So we're going to do seated Bakasana. So it's kind of like boat pose, right leg up, left leg up, like this. And then you're going to keep the edges of your feet together and bring your arms between your knees and press your palms flat and keep your feet together right there. You can even point your feet as if you were on the balls of your feet right there. Press your elbows into your knees and your knees into your elbows, flatten your back. But in Bakasana, you're going to round. Nicely done. Now lower down onto the mat all the way, carefully. Put your head on the floor for a moment. Now reclined Bakasana. So lift your legs up, lift your knees up, and get your lower back settled into the mat. And then you're going to bring the edges of your feet, the inside edges of your feet together, and then separate your knees. Reach the arms on the inside. Bring their knees all the way into the triceps right there. Knees to almost to your armpits. Keep the feet together. Palms flat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release for a moment. Set your feet on the floor. Drop the knees to one side and then the other. Bring your knees into your chest, and let's roll up. Come onto your feet like this. So wide stance Malasana is like this. Palms I'll turn just at an angle so you can see me. So my heels are on the floor, my thumbs are at my breastbone, and I can round my back right there, and that's a really nice stretch. Now, you can bring your feet out wider to get a little in an easier position with your heels down. Some people have to keep their heels up. That's okay. You can put something underneath your heels, like a thick, strong towel. But if you can, set your heels down. To come up into Bakasana, though, I want you to practice with your heels together. So kind of like when we were on our seated or in Bakasana, and then on our back, you had the edges of your feet together. So same principle, right? And so I'm going to turn to the side again. Knees, heels in towards each other. And then I'm going to grip my knees into my arms. Just give yourself a hug, right? So hug. Then put your hands on the floor, and you can bend your knees. And I'm going to show you real quickly. You can start by just balancing your knees onto your elbows like that, right? So that's a somewhat of a Bakasana or a crow pose. But what you really want is to Get your knees into the upper inner arms, armpits, hands in front, and you really lean in, lean in, lean in. Wait, so you're moving forward, and then pick your toes up, and try to bring the toes, the heels towards the glutes. Point your toes, straighten your arms as much as you can, and then set your hands down. How'd you do? All right, sit back on your tush and scoot to the middle of your mat, and lower down on your mat all the way. Feet on the floor, super good job. We're gonna be practicing this every practice, every class for the next month or through the fall. Let's not have a cutoff date. I just want you to see progression. Even if your progression is very small, it's still progression. So you need to, whenever you see the progressions, even if you have a setback, just know that you can always come back, right? Okay, so bridge pose. Feet on the floor, and then you want to tuck your pelvis so the back is flat on the floor, and then you're going to lift up your hips off the floor, the glutes off the floor, and feel the front body stretch right there. So the quads, your hip flexors, your abdomen. Place your hands on the floor, and then walk your right arm underneath and your left arm underneath. That's kind of important because it gives you a nice shelf to balance your body as you hold the pose with your glutes off the floor. So strengthening the back body. So then bring your right knee into your chest right here, and then extend the leg up straight, right there. We did this in the previous class, yoga practice. Let's do it again. So you're going to bring your right ankle to your left knee, and then press the right knee down towards the ground. Knee over your ankle on the left side. Now bring the right knee into the chest again. Extend the leg up straight. Point your toes. Knee into your chest. Set your foot down, left side. Lift up the hips. Press into your right foot. Get your balance. Left knee into your chest first. Then extend the leg up straight. Point your toes. Then bend your knee. Turn your knee to the side. Ankle on your knee. Right there. Lift the hips. Breathe. Press the knee down. Don't let the right knee cave out. Maintain strength and balance on that right foot. Now bring your knee into your chest. Extend the leg up straight. Point your toes. Bring the knee in again. Set your foot down. Excellent. Lift the hips. 3, 2, and then 1. Lower down on the mat. Separate your blades apart. And let your knees come in towards each other. Arms to the sides. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. Bring your right knee into your chest. Left leg out straight. Pull the knee in strongly. Now let's do supine pigeon pose. Right ankle on left knee. Press this knee out, just like we did with the hips up off the ground. Reach through and grab the thigh. Pull the legs in. Press your knee away. Flex your feet. Head on the floor. Look straight up. Now set your left foot on the floor. Keep your ankle where it is. Arms are out to the sides. Tip the knees over to one side and turn your gaze the opposite direction of your knees and breathe. Pull the back towards the ground. You're doing great. You did a great job. Nice practice. Now lift the legs. And let's change sides. So both knees into the chest first. Place your left ankle on your right knee. Press that knee away. Reach behind and grab the hamstring. Pull it in. Relax your shoulders. Flex your foot. Then set your right foot on the floor. Arms are out. Knees go over to the side. And then turn your gaze to the right. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale. And then lift your legs, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, lift your head up off the floor, shoulders off the floor, and hug tight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross your ankles, roll up. Seated in the middle of your mat, looking my direction. Let's close class together. Bring the palms together, edge of the thumbs to the brow. In gratitude, with a light touch. And then in a gesture of thanks, bowing your head, chin towards the chest in thanks. Thank you for joining me and taking a part in this practice for your mind and your body. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. See you again next time. Thank you.